Shalom, shalom. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, and beginning at verse 12. There's a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to God. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutation to the occupant across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwaf, to the occupant to listen and learning. Lord willingly, this is an edifying lesson. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, but appear like the other nations in appearance, but subscribe to this truth to you. I say shalom. This is Brother Yabasap out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming to you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yabashim Shai. So I came across this article on Newsbreak app, and Spirit jumped on me to do a lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. And it says, Black gay priest in NYC challenges Catholicism from within. Parishioners worshiping at St. Charles Borromeo Catholic Church in Harlem are greeted by a framed portrait of Martin Luther King Jr., a Baptist minister named after a rebellious 16th century German priest excommunicated from the Catholic Church. I would love to know who wrote this. With all that, you could feel and hear the venom, and I'm reading this. You can feel the venom behind these words, but it's a lot of truth behind it too, because that is how Martin Luther King gained his popularity. When you go and research him, his name wasn't Martin, it was Michael. And then, his father changed his name to Martin. That's why he's a junior. He was a Michael Jr., who actually was a pastor, a reverend. And that's why, it's deep. The Reverend Brian Massengill, who sometimes preaches at St. Charles, pursues his ministry in ways that echo both Martin Luther's. Like King, Massengill decrees this scourge of racial inequality in the United States. And you got to look at the title. Now, I know I'll probably get flagged for this, but, we had to, so I ain't really giving a fuck. But it's a, black priest is battling Catholicism based on, I guess, his preference of what he's into. It says, like King, Massengill decrees the scourge of racial inequality in the United States. As a professor at Fordham University, he teaches African American religious approaches to ethics. Like the German Martin Luther, Massengill is often at odds with official Catholic teaching. He supports the ordination of women and making celibacy optional for Catholic clergy. So he supports ordination. Let's look what that is. Ordination of women. Action of ordaining or conferring holy orders on someone. So the ordination of women. So the action of ordaining or holy, basically he ordaining women. So he, I guess, feels that women can actually preach, which, that's scriptural. I'm not going to get it. Brothers that's following me should be aware of the scriptures, and there's multiple scriptures that talk about how a woman should not usurp authority over a man, or a woman shouldn't teach a man, or, so it says making celibacy optional. And as a gay man, he vocally disagrees with the church's doctrine on same-sex relations instead of advocating for full inclusion of LGBTQ Catholics within the church. So he's a homosexual that disagrees with the church's doctrine on same-sex. So I guess the Catholic Church, which, if you are awake you an Israelite, you awake to other things, and the Catholic Church is all the way off. There's a spirit I just saw that old video of Elder Apostle Tahar, and he was asking individuals about you know, what they feel about the Catholic Church. And somebody made a comment, which I truly believe what they said. They said he was on fire then like he is today. And that's why that man is one of my teachers. My IC is my teacher, you know. I mean, everybody doesn't have a spirit like that. And, that's what makes Great Millstone what it is because of our teachers. They have the spirit to push, so that should make brothers up under them want to push. But this is not about that. I found it spiritual because I just like somebody uploaded this old video about the Elder Apostle Tahar today. He was speaking about the Catholic Church, and I did a video about this. You go into the Catholic Church, they talking about transhumanism and all that. But I'm probably gonna stop right here because this is the point. He is completely off. This man talking about he's a homosexual first of all. Then he's talking about basically giving women positions where ordaining them to be able to teach and be pastors and all that because he gave them holy orders. Now scriptures say a lot of things, but why do people think this is okay? Because of the fact that Edom is in control and he's turned things upside down. I got two scriptures. First of all, I'm going to get this in Isaiah 29, verse 16. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? So, you didn't create yourself. The Most High God has an order with everything, and basically, you know, it's man and particularly this red Hebrew Edomite, this devil that has taught you it's okay to be able to, a man could deal with a man and a woman could deal with a woman. That's off. That's turning the things upside down. That's do as thou wilt. That philosophy. And, when you live in that kind of spirit, that's rebellion against the Most High. That's why the scriptures talk about in the book of Samuel, rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, So, saying all that to say this, you know, you saying that the Most High didn't get it right. It says, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? So how the work gonna tell the potter who created it that you did something wrong? So all this, this philosophy of, oh yeah, I was born a man, but I really feel like a girl inside. No, that's the Lord giving you up to your perverse ways. The Most High God, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is not with homosexuality. And I got another scripture to back that up. Where is it at? This is the book of Leviticus, which is in the law, by the way. Since you got certain camps that's going into the law, I ain't gonna name no names, but this is Leviticus. This is Leviticus chapter 20, and the point is verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So we're going to go into that word mankind so you can understand. A man also, if he lie with mankind. So it says male. So if one man, if it said a man, if a man lieth with another male, because mankind was the other man, as he lieth with a woman. So men lie with women a certain kind of way, meaning go into them, get to know, like the scriptures say, they known them. Adam knew his wife. We want to know them. I don't know them head as far as in the ancient languages and the Hebrew or the Greek, but yet it's still, they basically mean actually having sex, going into them. That's abominable, and it's a sin unto death. Let me see. Another scripture tells you in the book of in the book of Romans about how basically the Lord gave these people up to their own delusions. This is Romans 1 and verse 21. I'm going to start at 21. Because that when they knew Yahweh, they glorified him not as Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, or power, or God, verbatim, because God simply means power. Neither were they thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, because you got a lot of people like this devil particularly, he think he did this on his own. When, he had a term phrased or coined, manifest destiny. When you go into that, that means he knew it was divinely given to him to conquer everything. So how the fuck you do it on your own? And their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the uncorruptible power into an image made like to corruptible man. So then, this devil literally want to put the Most High God in a box. Now they can reach, the brother Mahad in our camp always goes into how Esau said they can reach the dimension where the Most High God at. They can't even get out of the solar system. I was listening to the Elder Malcolm. What is it called? Damn. I would have to go watch the video. I just watched the video too. He was talking about it's like they can't reach past the Van Allen belt first and foremost, but it's another one where the satellites are, they can't get past that point, because they can't deal with the cosmic rays like what's that Fantastic Four. So how he gonna reach them to the third and fourth, well, not the third, but the fourth and fifth dimension. Slovakia. It says, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. And that goes into basically their homosexuality. Wherefore Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua also gave them up to uncleanliness through the lust of their own hearts. Because you lusting after your own pleasures. With that whole Lester Crowley do as thou will spirit. With what Jay-Z promotes. It's funny. They call us conspiracy theorists, but yet still, with the boule, Jay-Z wears these shirts that say, do as thou wilt, and the boule right in your face. That's why they think people are sheep, because you simple. To dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who change the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to a lie. To say that it's okay as a man, of course, we all know Catholicism is not the truth. But what I'm saying is you are considered a priest. So what truth are you really speaking? And then you got to understand this is from his own personal standpoint, his own belief. He is giving up to this vile affection. So therefore, of course, he will push for it. And he gonna destroy a lot of people, and that's the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and then he's gonna be destroyed horribly. Because it tells you basically being a bishop, being, you over a flock, that you are supposed to be blameless. So those that, if you was given, it talks about false pastors in the scriptures. This man is a false pastor, Like I said, he's trying to put women on a pedestal and, like I said, ordain them, make them holy. How are they holy? Women bleed. Women are more unclean than men majority of the time. We become unclean from land with them. Did you know that? If you fornicate, well, not fornicate, Salakia, because the elder just broke down fornicate. Fornicate go back to adultery. The Christian church will teach you fornication is basically having sex before marriage. Fornication goes into adultery. If you have a woman and you married to her, we know what we mean by married through the scriptures, and you lay with her and then try to go to camp or do anything, go to the tabernacle, because camp is the tabernacle, then you're unclean if you lay with her before this. You unclean till I think leave to the night. It's a whole bunch of laws in the scriptures. This man is the devil. It says, who changed the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to a lie. And Esau Edom did it first, having Jake believe it. But Jake was going off too. It tells you that Jake was so wicked, he sought the wickedest ways. And worshipped and served the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua gave them up unto vile affections, because you chose to worship man and women and the creation more than the creator who created it. So he gave you up to your vile affection. So he gave you up to them lust of the flesh. When you go into the auditorium and all that, like them was big ass orgies, and that spirit's still here. Probably even more so. You probably start seeing it just openly. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Verse 27, and likewise also the men leaving the natural use of the woman. So they didn't even want women. They went to the man. Burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was met. So they got judged for it. That's the point. It goes into, that's, wickedness, unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness. But point is, the Lord gave you up to that vile spirit. And there's a judgment with that. And this is the closing precept I'm going to get, because when you go into the book of 2nd Ezra, it talks about prophecy, and we see in prophecy unfold, majorly. It says, 2nd Ezra 15:1, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Once you go into the word prophecy, is to say before. So before it happened, it tells you in the scriptures, you'll know a man is a prophet or sent by the Most High God, because the things, if he say them and they come to pass, he was sent by the Lord. Any fool could say anything, but when it come to pass, that's how you know the Lord speaking. And cause them to be written down in Salaki, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true, because they're gonna come to pass. It tells you that I think it's that in Habakkuk, through it tarry, wait for it, it shall surely come to pass. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And people that get offended by this, or people that wanted America, Babylon the Great, aka Babylon the Great, to come back to the way it was, they're going to die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Verse 6, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. That is a hurtful work, to see this fucking so-called man of God. But what God is it? It tells you in the scriptures there's many gods. There's many idols. You get what I'm saying? But the Most High God is the Father of Spirit. So these delusions that you pray to and you believe that are actually working are all, creations and spirits that the Most High God is fucking with you with. And then you still got to go in front of the King of Terrors after your judgment. But the Lord is going to deal with the righteous, It tells you that. And that's the comfort that brothers get. I was listening to the elders speak at their live camp, and then I forgot who I was listening to. One of the brothers or the elders, they was talking about being rooted. The brother Atazawan from Men of Valor said that. He said, certain vehicles can hit a tree, and if it's strongly rooted, you won't uproot it. So, brothers that really believe, they have a foundation, they rooted. No matter what happens, they not gonna be, they're gonna stand their ground. And that's why it talks about in Wisdom of Solomon about those that stood stiffly. Let me get that real quick, and I'm gonna end it on that, because that's the spirit that popped up in my mind like that. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. So when you see the men in his truth standing boldly, but it's going to be a time the Lord going to put spirits on certain men that's in his truth to do certain things, because at the end of the day, like the elder apostle Tahar said one time, I remember he said, you can't just be sitting around with your hands in your pocket. If the spirit having you do certain stuff, trust me, I've been walking this walk, and I probably catch no more hell than nobody else. What I'm going to say is this. At the end of the day, although we go through, it talks about the conditions of the battle in the Apocrypha. These are conditions of the battle: catching hell, being lied on, different shit. The demons jumping on these people that's close to you. At the end of the day, you got all that going, but you still supposed to stay 10 toes down in this truth. None of that mattered. Like the brother whose channel is Bakura Mouth, he said, we give up our lives on this side because on the other side, we're going to have everlasting pleasures forever. And brothers got to really believe that, because like I said, these devils, I can feel them working. Well, it's not really them. It's the Most High Yahweh Shah working the work that we all going to remember. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, to statutes, and to the commandments of Yahweh Shem Shah, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Lawyam La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem That's what the time. Double honor to the apostles and to the elders, the great millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Aquap and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, with whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. Until next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Wathla babal. Shalom.